Hello and welcome back to Politics on the Prairie. I'm your host, Dan Williams, and today we'll be looking at the OKC Arena results from last year. For those of you unfamiliar, at the end of last year in December, Oklahoma City had a vote to establish a new or extend an existing tax for the construction of a new arena in replacing the Cox Communications Center. As we can see here, the arena passed with an overwhelming 71% of the vote, with just over 41,000 people voting in favor, and the no vote garnered just under 17,000 with 16,803, 71% to 29%. And yes, those are flat percentages. As we can see here, support for the arena in Oklahoma City was pretty widespread, with support for the no vote being somewhat concentrated in the downtown area, with random smaller precincts voting against it as well. Believe it or not, this precinct over here in Pottawatomie County was 100% against. So, what I really wanted to look at is in these smaller elections, you get a smaller universe, but you also get some interesting turnout dynamics. So I really wanted to see what parties were voting in this election. So here is the mapped partisan turnout for this bond election. And as we can see here, just over 50% of the electorate was Republican, around 28,000, almost 29,000 voters. 36%, 36.79% were Democrats, 21,203 voters. 7,000 were independents, or about 12.6, and 304 libertarians. And as we can see, the usual distribution of votes is here, with, of course, the east side being heavily Democratic, downtown being a little less Democratic, but still pretty Democratic. A large mix in South Side. That has to do with some of the different turnouts of the electorate down there. While this is heavily Hispanic and registered Democrat, there are some turnout issues around here, generally for these bond elections. And then Democrats making their way towards the area that I call the Nazarene Corridor, going towards Bethany. And then, of course, Republicans pretty much being everywhere outside the core OKC areas, with heavy turnout, of course, in the Canadian County, Cleveland County portions of Oklahoma City. Normally, normally I try to draw conclusions between the partisan turnout of the electorate and the actual result. But as we can see here, as we quickly flip through these, that even areas that had pretty strong Democratic turnout, such as the East Side, still voted for it, albeit a bit less. Voting in this election myself, I was pretty aware of the arguments being made on either side, and with such a large yes margin, there was absolutely some Democrats who voted yes, but there were a few amount of Republicans who voted no, as we can see over here in this precinct. That was mostly Republican, and it voted against it. These are the so-called anti-tax Republicans voting against the measure. So, just a very quick video for you today. Nice little quick analysis of the Oklahoma City partisan turnout and, of course, results of the arena. Not too big conclusions to really draw about the overall partisan lean of Oklahoma City, to be honest, but it is interesting to see who turns out in these relatively smaller elections and how that will shape the city going forward. I say smaller election in regards to what's on the length of the ballot, but of course, this will have big impacts, as argued by both sides, on the city moving forward. So I guess we'll find out what happens. But thank you all very much for tuning in today. I told you this was going to be a short one. For the next video, I'm looking to Oklahoma City's northeastern neighbor, if you will, in the city of Tulsa, we'll be looking at voter registration trends up there. Thank you all for tuning in today, and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.